Hello everyone and welcome to the webinar. Today is Instructor and Pro Training. This will not be a very long webinar, but what we're going to do is really go through the schedulers, how from an instructor standpoint to use the instructor scheduler, talk about just events briefly, because as an instructor you may have the permission, if your organization gives it to you, to actually create events and to be able to edit those events as well. And we're also going to talk about, how to book a court for yourself or a member, how to schedule yourself unavailable time, events, a little bit about that. I think I just said that. And then how to assign courts and check in as well. So this is in the webinar format, so please log your questions in the Q&A or the chat, and I will answer those at the end. And so I'm going to stop the share and go ahead and get started. Over here on the desktop side. All right, so first off, we're going to go over the expanded scheduler. This, of course, from an instructor point of view, just to give you a little detail, these are events, and if you're an instructor assigned to an event, then your initials would actually be noted here. There's some information on the scheduler as far as, the courts here at the top. If you see courts over here on the side, it means that there is a custom scheduler in place. We won't go over that today, but we have a great video on that if you'd like to watch it. We also have the ability to find out more information on current events. So if you actually hover over an event and click on the icon, you can come to this and edit the event, whether it's assign a new court, switch the courts out, assign an instructor, take an instructor off, add a member, anything on this event right here, okay? If you go back to the icon, then again, from this detail, you can view the registrants of a specific event. You can register your members to this event as well for all of the dates of this particular class or clinic, or for a single date. You can check in, you can collect payment, and really, this is a real basic overview of what the scheduler can give you from a viewpoint. If you want to understand complete event, we have a fantastic webinar that we did a couple weeks ago called All About Events. So I would encourage you to go out and watch the All About Events webinar because it will show you a lot more detail. We just wanted to go over a little basic detail today, especially if you're new to an organization. So again, this is, events, this is the scheduler. If you have a lot of courts, you can toggle back and forth. The scheduler also allows you to drag and drop. So as you can see, I can move this racquetball up and down. I can even extend the time again. So lots of information, and depending on how your organization actually set up this information, maybe it's color coded for event types or categories, or maybe it's actually color coded for events, or not events, instructors, then that would be up to your organization as well. Again, the ability to do things that we may show you today are all based on the permissions that your organization gives you. So when the event is over today and you go back and you try and do some of these things, if you don't have the permission, talk to your organization about that, because we cannot set that for you. They will have to set that for you. So let's go over here to the left-hand side and go down to what's called My Schedule. This is for you, the instructor, the pro, the coach. This is where you will assign yourself unavailable. So maybe you're going to, you can see here a first aid CPR training. Maybe there are certain days of the week when you are not available for certain hours of the day, and it's easy to go in and use the scheduler and schedule yourself. So based on the reservation types that your organization has set up, unavailable is one of them that's defaulted in the system. So I've got a time, you need to put in a start time and an end time. Let's just go for a couple hours, or so we can actually see. Reoccurrence means, of course, that this is going to happen, daily, weekly, monthly, or custom. So if you know that every Tuesday you are not actually going to teach and you're going to be unavailable, then you can actually do that here. Now you will need to put in an end series, so a number of Tuesdays that you will not be there to teach. So maybe during the winter months, you're not going to be teaching on Tuesdays, or you can actually put the exact date if you know that. So we'll just put 10 in here. And then you can also do exception dates. This actually calculates all of the next 10 Tuesdays. So if you know that maybe this week of Christmas, you know, that's an exception date that you will not be unavailable. Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense, but you understand what I'm saying. If you were actually scheduling maybe a private lesson or maybe something in here that wasn't making you unavailable, the exception date would pull that date out. Here's where of course, the instructor is assigned, so this would automatically populate to you because this is your schedule. And then you can make a note on the scheduler as well. So when I hit Save Changes, then you can actually see here, I forgot to put this at every 1 week because we do want it to happen every week. And now it populates that I'm going to be unavailable, okay? So you can actually go in, change this, and this, of course, also populates to your mobile device. Once you download the Court Reserve app from your Android or iPhone store, you log in with the credentials that your admin sets you up with, you'll get an email. And it'll say click here and you'll reset that password, and then you use that email and password for both desktop and for your mobile device as well. So you can do this, you can schedule yourself unavailable or put your own schedule in on the desktop or on the mobile app as well. So just be aware that the reservation or when you go to schedule something, these reservation types are set by your organization. So if you're missing one, talk to them about that as well, okay? So again, you can toggle back and forth week after week to kind of see what your schedule is. If you wanted to export this, you know, to like a PDF so you could print it, you could do that here. And then actually the day button is here, so you can go between the day and the weekly button as well. There is a filter option over here in the top corner, so if you want to filter down to certain things, you can do that as well. So just a little overview. Of course, this is found under My Schedule because this, of course, is you as the instructor. This is your schedule. Now, again, if you wanted to look at all of the instructors at your organization, that would be found under the Instructors with an S button. You can see all of our instructors here. And again, from a front desk standpoint, you know, this is going to be easy. And the benefit of allowing or having your schedule online and always up to date is because now you no longer have to worry about the text messages, the emails, the phone calls, going home at night and following up with how many people want a private lesson or whatever that might have been. Because from a front desk standpoint, if let's say you are Coach Darren here and little Dakota comes in with his mom and they want to take a private lesson. Well, if you have your schedule up to date, then they can actually go in from a front desk or an admin standpoint, schedule a private lesson, put it on a court, you know, that you teach on. You are already the assigned instructor, and then there's a cost due here that basically it's going to send you an email that now you have a private lesson. It's going to be on your mobile device. Your member's happy, you're happy, everybody's happy, especially because this is going to make money for lots of different people. So again, just communication. I think this is one of the reasons that we developed an entire instructor module, was to allow you to be able to communicate with your organization as well as with your members, etc. as well. So that's the instructor's schedule and your instructor schedule as well. And again, don't forget, you can actually see both of these on your mobile device as well. Now, if let's say you have a member, and you know, this happens occasionally, but the member says, you know, I do want to schedule, can you just do it for me real quickly? Well, I want to just briefly go over how easy it is for you as an instructor, if that's a feature or a permission that your admins have given you, to be able to go and actually schedule something for one of your members. So it's as easy as finding the date and time on the scheduler, hitting the reserve button, picking the appropriate reservation type, whether it was singles or doubles, what have you, typing in the members' names, because once again, this is going to bring up your membership of your organization. And once you assign this to the particular members, you know, the court that it's on, you know, any notes that you need to put on this scheduler. If you guys charge for your court reservations, that will actually populate here. And then it'll send a confirmation email to your members as well. So when I hit Save Changes, now your members are happy. It's pretty easy from your standpoint as well. And even on the mobile device, you can do that as well. Okay, let's talk about closures. Now, for some of you, you will be responsible for closures, and we've made it pretty easy and actually lucky you, in the last couple months, we've made this a really good feature in Court Reserve. So this blue button right here, as long as you've been given the permission to do closures, is an easy way, let's just say for weather. So what you'll do is actually come over here and click the green Create Closure. Now these closure types are, again, created by your organization. So we do have some organizations that are using closures for USTA league time. They're blocking off courts because other coaches come in and purchase that time, things of that nature. So again, if you need a closure type here, then your organization can go in and actually set these up for you. But let's just choose weather for now. So we've got a start date and time. It basically populates to, you know, right now. And then we know that it's going to rain or snow for the next 2 days. And we'll go ahead and open the courts back up. Now, you'll see here affected reservations and affected registrants. Well, watch this number as I start basically selecting courts. You'll see what happens. See the numbers going up? Well, these are all of your members, the people that have made reservations or signed up for events that will be affected by you closing the courts. Now, I guess the most important thing that you need to be made aware of is that right now, this information, these 4 things right here are available on the desktop side. Closures don't work quite as well on the mobile. And of course, you know, we're going to get better at it and we're going to add this to that. But again, the closures work best on the desktop side. So you have 4 options. No cancellations. Well, if you don't do this, nothing's going to be canceled and nothing's going to happen. Okay. There's close or cancel all reservations and events, cancel court reservations only, or cancel events only. These 3 options here are the options that will send notification by email to your members, letting them know, hey, it's raining, your reservation, your event has been canceled due to rain. Now you can go in here and you'll be able to see exactly who those registrants are. You can actually go and reschedule them and some other things here, but just know this box right here is really important and it's pretty easy. So again, we made this feature because no longer are you having to call people, text people, email people. The system does it for you. If you need additional instruction around closures, we have a great video on the Court Reserve YouTube channel. Please go subscribe because every time we make a great new video, it'll let you know so that you can just continually be learning about all the great functions and settings in Court Reserve. Okay, again, I just wanted to come back over and let's take a look at events. For some of you, you will have permission to set up your own events, and that is fantastic. Now, again, that's a permission. So events, of course, are under events and then list, then you have add new event here, or you can actually just hit the green button, create event here. Now, again, I am not going to go through an in-depth event information because we have a great webinar that's already on YouTube that you can go and watch. But for instance, if you needed to take a look here at Mark's Swing Clinic, you would see 3 tabs here at the top. You've got your general info or the setup tab, I like to call it. The dates tab, which means this is all of the dates that Mark's Swing Clinic will actually be taking place. And then you got a transaction tab as well. Now know that anytime anything happens on an event, it is almost recorded or remembered on the audit log. So as you can see here, there's a button here for audit log. Now pay attention because anything you do is going to be reflected here on the audit log. We kind of like to tell you it's a lie detector on the computer because it really does do that. So you can see here from the creation of this event. Now remember, an event is like a class, a clinic, a summer camp, anything you want a group of people to sign up for. You can see that Tim Owens, he was an admin because it says A. If there was an M here, that would be like for member. And then when it was created, even down to the exact time, the name of that, and then what actually was created or what that action was. Everything is here. So you can see up here, there was a cancel of an event registration last week on 11/17, and Tim Owens, the admin, did this action. So again, anything that you do or anybody else that has permissions for events will be logged here. it's a great feature because sometimes in chat support, we will get, hey, one of my members got deleted, or what happened to this event, or etc. Use the audit log. That's how you're going to find out what happened. And that might be a tip for your admins as well. Okay, so while we're on this page, just quickly, notice that if you click on the plus sign here, that's where all of the great information comes from. Now, if you wanted to register members to Mark Swing Clinic, you could click this green button here, and it would pull up the registrants already here, like view registered members. You could pull up members of your club, choose which dates they wanted to register for, pricing, etc. Okay. Now, if I go back, I want to show you a couple things. From the event standpoint, if you wanted to email all of your registrants in this particular class on Wednesday, November 25th, you would email them with this button here. Email registrants with a message. If you wanted to email one particular student out of this class, you would need to email them from the email link associated with their name. So this would be email or notify Christian about this reservation. If you wanted to cancel this entire date, you would do it here at the cancel level. And if you needed to edit just this date of this event, you would edit it here at the date level, okay? Now, again, you can see receipts and payment, check-in feature. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. I wanted to also show you something else. A lot of times instructors may have more than one court for a particular event. And what we did was made a great way for you as an instructor to go in and assign your students to particular courts. And unfortunately, I don't see, I need to go in here and see if I can add another court quickly just so I can prove my point to you. Yes, let's just add court 2. Okay, give it just a second and it'll update the date. Okay, so we're going to come over here now and let's do this right here. Here we go. So you can see here Wednesday, December 2nd from 12 to 1. This event is on court 1 and court 2. Now, if I go over and actually hit the little face or the little, silhouette, then you can actually assign your registrants to particular courts. So maybe we want this student on this court, this student's going to be on court 1. So you can see how great this would be. You can actually print this out. You can save these changes. Now, currently you cannot email this information. We've had a lot of people say, oh, it'd be great to email. It's in the hopper. Don't worry, it's coming, but it's not here yet. But you could print this out and have it for yourself and let your folks know as well. So really around events, I'm not sure if Tim's still on this call or not, but I wanted to make sure that, as far as, after the event's over, the attendance report's a great way for contact tracing if you needed to look back and see who was in a particular event, class or clinic. And again, we can, talk through reporting on another webinar. And if you have
I would interject and show 2 really good reports. Under reports, we've just added, if you click on the left side, actually under reports, you can see now there's 3 specific event reports. The events, the registrant summary is one that's really new. So if you click on that one, this is, and let's just go current month. This is going to show you a breakdown of all of your different event categories, the number of registrations you've had, the number of drop-ins you had. It's going to actually break out the number of full registrations compared to drop-ins, and then also the number that you have on your wait list. So it's a good way to see. Now, if you hit the event summary report, that's a good one that's going to allow you to see more of a financial snapshot of exactly how many people you registered, what your percentage was that you got that class filled, and what your total revenue was and revenue by player. So just wanted to interject there, and it's a good way for you and your instructors maybe to view how your programming is doing.
Absolutely. Those are great. I didn't even know those existed yet. So thank you so much. All right. So another critical feature that we want to make sure that you as an instructor are aware of, especially if it's important to your organization, is that check-in feature. And I just mentioned it earlier, but I noticed that we had a couple more people come on. And so if we go back to the expanded scheduler, again, this is easy for you as an instructor. So if we actually go to today, and we've got 4 registrants here for 12 o'clock. The triangle that's your check-in button, and it leads you to this screen right here. And it literally is as easy as hitting the check-in button like this. Now, you're an instructor or a pro or a coach, so you're probably on the court. So that means that you would actually toggle the button over on your mobile device. And again, it really does allow for great attendance reporting and things of that nature as well. So Tim, are there any other things Instructor Pro that you think of?
No, if you, I don't know if you have your screenshots handy. I would just maybe, if you wanted to. No, you did a great job of covering that from an instructor standpoint, but just some of the things they can do on the mobile app. Do you have those slides handy?
Yeah, let's go over that quickly because I do think that's a great idea. So I'm going to stop the share, and what you should be seeing now would be a screen.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Great, great, great. So again, what he was talking about, this is actually a slide that, or a couple slides that I show on the demo when we introduce Court Reserve to potential new clubs each week. But again, on the mobile device, this would be what you as an instructor, pro or coach would see your calendar, your scheduler as. If you needed to schedule yourself, then you could easily hit the schedule button. But you can see, this is a great feature to allow you to toggle back and forth through the days, scroll up and down, and you can actually see other instructor schedulers as well. Just again, communication between you as a group and being able to work together. Now, we talked about it earlier. This is the member directory that's available on the mobile device for admins and instructors because, again, it's important that for instance, if you're getting ready to teach a class, a clinic, and Dakota walks up, hey coach, I'd love to take this class or clinic. Well, now you can actually look him up as a member, make sure he's an active member, see maybe what his rating is so that you can make sure that he's appropriate to put in this class because you can register him from your mobile device. So again, communication, it's better for you to know. And then again, here we go to the next screen. This shows an event, a class, a clinic that, myself and another colleague were the instructors that we've been assigned to. Lots of great information here as far as a date, time, number of registrants. And at the bottom, you can see where you can register players to this event, edit the event, or even cancel the event as well. This shows a particular screenshot of a lesson that I, as an instructor, I'm going to be giving a lesson to this member. And then you see the costs associated. Now, depending on your organization, you see the pay button, and when that instructor hits the pay button, it doesn't mean that $100 is going in that instructor bank account. It actually means the instructor's collecting on behalf of the organization. So again, good information. If you charge, I'm assuming all of you would charge for private lessons. And if you don't, send us your way because we'd love to have free lessons, right? I will point out again, the edit, cancel, delete button from your mobile device, but also that check-in button is in the dark royal blue here. And the check-in on the mobile device for you as an instructor or a coach is a simple toggle over. So when they show up on the court, you can toggle over, you can go back through, and then you or your admin, if you guys needed to run some of those reports that we just mentioned, or even attendance reports or follow-up, you can do that as well. All right, so that's really on the mobile side. Let's take a look at your questions. I see we have one question, unless Tim has something else.
No, yeah, I was actually gonna get you to show this, and Paul read my mind and asked the question as well. And I may have missed you showing it, and he did too. But did you show the instructor time report?
Oh, Paul, great idea. Let's go back. My goodness.
That we normally do that. We probably just got so excited to do this webinar, we just forgot that one. But yeah, there you go.
All right, Tim, talk through it.
So if you look under reports, the one report that most of our clubs go to for instructor payroll and instructor time, this was a report that we've started, and we're going to continue to evolve this and improve this to get more and more, to make this better and better as far as paying your pros. But this is just going to report on time. So if Ashley was to do like last month and run this report, this is going to give you a really good breakdown of, go ahead and run it, Ashley. This is going to give you a really good breakdown of all of your pros And you can see that it's going to give you a breakdown based on their hours too. So what you can also do is, if you need to see a more granular hour breakdown, if you close this report, if you go down and scroll down to your output, you can see that all of the event categories and all of the event reservation types and event categories are listed. So if you want to get granular, we don't check these by default, but if you wanted to say, how much cardio tennis time did I do? How much stroke of the day hours did I do? How much, then you can actually run that, and that's going to break it down. So you can see Ashley did 11 of her total 68.5 hours was for stroke of the day clinics. So this is a great way. Obviously, this is exportable to Excel. So most of our clubs actually use this to break down their hours. Now, in a future release, a future feature we got coming is the ability to not only show you this, but also relate the actual rate schedules, so that you can say, for lessons, we want to pay this instructor an X number of dollars in commission for each private lesson, or a percentage. So you'll be able to break it down at the fixed rate or the percentage-based rate. And it will also not only give you hours, but give you actually monetary amounts of what you owe each pro based off the rate schedules you set up. So, and then sometime, I don't have an ETA on this, but we are going to be interfacing with some payroll companies and allow you to do check-in or clock in and clock out for your pros, so that they can, have a sort of an employee time clock through Court Reserve. That is on our future roadmap as well. So hopefully that answered some questions for you, Paul, around instructor time.
That's a great question. We love when Paul comes on our calls. All right, so just a couple more things I want to point out. If you needed to search for a member of your organization, there is a search box here. And again, if you have the permission to do this, then it's easy just to type in the first 3 letters. Or we also have phone number, but your organization has to have that checked to be turned on. You can also use the search event box here to search any event for any specific, let's see, there's Mark Swing Clinic that we have searched here. And then again, 3 things that you need to be made aware of over here. We love your ideas about how to keep improving on the experience for instructors and pros in Court Reserve. So any of your ideas, please chat us, email us at support@courtreserve.com. Tell your admins to tell us. That's how we've built Court Reserve. Anytime you want to learn what's new in Court Reserve, it may pertain to instructors and pros or not, but the megaphone here, we now have it to where if there is a new one, it's a little red dot up there. But this really teaches you all the new things. And we usually, publish this, every couple weeks when we push new releases. And then we just know you guys are going to want to know as much as possible about Court Reserve. And if it's midnight and you're sleeping, or you just wake up and want to know, the little question bar here will lead you to our knowledge base. And again, we have a YouTube channel that a lot of our information is out there for you to learn. And then I'm not sure, but sometimes organizations give you as an instructor the ability to chat with us. And if they do, then you'll have the ability to do that in the bottom right-hand corner. If not, then you'll have to talk to your admins about that as well. So any other questions? Wait, I think we have another question. Nope, Paul said thank you.